dłuższego telewizjonnej rewolucji Kevin i Olivia na blogosfierę. The international phenomenon. Attack of the Show.
For all the stuff we care about. Jag soy Cristobal Hardwick.
And I'm Allison Ace, but I don't speak English. Kevin and Olivia are in a galaxy far, far away, but we are coming to you live from the G4 studios in Los Angeles.
On the shit.
Hi.
What are you?
Where's the buffet?
Oh, it's that way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right over there.
Well, as you may have noticed, the robots are still missing. They're not here anymore. Thank God, because you can see things are way, way better now.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a buffet and a stripper. Because nothing goes with chicken breasts like booby breasts.
Yes, I enjoy both varieties of those. Yeah, if I know we could have a stripper and a hot lunch, I would have disappeared those stinking robots years ago.
Yeah, seriously. Look at this.
What a waste of this whole area up until today.
Good. I like it. I like it.
On the show today.
Besides that.
Sorry. What now? What now? It's a game break. We respawn the best of packs, including a new game called Shank. I better get to Shiva Latin King, and then we're going to unveil the latest in hat technology, upside down sports logos. But if that is not geeky enough, Threads also has some Iron Man and Wolverine's caps. Who needs girls?
Not you. Then Blair Butler has new fresh ink reviews, plus a huge Marvel exclusive about a new character set to debut in the pages of Iron Man. And we saved the best for last. Rob Corddry from Concept Publishing will be here live. Chris, I really need you back on the podium. I really need you back here.
We were talking about politics.
By the way, I'm just going to call it. I have a feeling by the end of the show, I'm ending up on that poll somehow.
All right. Well, that's an oral contract. So it has to happen.
Those don't count.
Yes, they do.
Whatever. Time now to run down the top 5 things on the web.
We're going around the net, people.
Into it, and you're always so still.
Maybe, you know what? I have an idea. Maybe you could unleash some of that aggression on this stripper pole that we have later on in the show. For a motorcyclist, nothing is worse than putting your bike down.
Except putting your bike down in front of an audience. To shame and traffic court.
I hear cops love sliders. Hey, that means something else.
There were no midgets in that video.
No, I don't mean sliders in that sense. I meant sliders in the tiny cheeseburger sense. Well, actually...
How am I ever supposed to know which type of sliders you mean?
Hey, girl, that's how I roll. I like to use words that mean other words. Synonym Hardwick, that's my name.
It's so confusing.
All right.
All right, here's something that young people might not know. Nowadays, California's governor just shows up at forest fires and mudslides, but he used to do something very important.
Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger came to this country to become one of the world's biggest stars. And honestly, please, I hope you get a chance to watch Hercules in New York sometime. Find it on the internet. He did it, and even though you won't confuse him with Marlon Brando, he did have more memorable line reads than anyone in cinema history.
Yes, and today, one fan put together his favorite 160 Arnold lines.
Allow me to break the ice. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
What the hell did you do to him, man?
I did nothing. The pavement was his enemy. Listen to me very carefully. You are not you. You're me.
Right? Wrong.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
Look who's talking.
Climb laps with your 4 wins. You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Into the boat! Into the tunnel! Get to the chopper!
I'm pregnant.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor at all.
I loved Conan. It was great. Anyway,
you mean Conan? Conan hosted a show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Not Conan the Barbarian.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan the Barbarian might have been more interesting.
It could have been.
That would have been like a tall, lanky, 6-foot, red-haired dude.
Thank you for
Killing
taking
people.
me there image-wise.
You're welcome. Anyway, Schwarzenegger's not ready for re-election, so maybe he'll go back to his roots.
Steroids and overdubbing, here we come!
No. Not back that far.
Oh, okay.
That's no good.
Today's number 3 item comes to us from Australia's worst musician, R.A.E.D.
Yeah, now we've previously seen R.A.E.D.'s work in an ear-splitting ode to Melbourne.
Now, I don't think I remember that song.
Okay, you asked for it.
No, wait, don't!
Tell my bros right here beside me that I really love the flows all around me. All night around me, yeah, I love the city, baby.
Oh, now I remember. What I meant was I intentionally blocked that song out of my memory because it's assy.
Yeah. So anyway, now he's back with a new song about, it's about, I don't know, it's like a cheating girlfriend or a fight or beetroot
Or a wallaby
something
camp.
like that. Wallaby camp, unicorn, I have no clue.
I don't know. It doesn't matter, but we do know that you'll love it. Assuming, of course, you like tuneless, rhythmless, unnecessarily backlit videos.
What you blind for, baby girl? What you crying for, baby girl? You ask yourself the question now, huh? You ask yourself the question now. Why is it that you always lie to me, huh? And why is it that you always cry to me when you lie to me? 'Cause I ain't never gonna let you do this to me again, baby. No way, no way. 'Cause it hurts so bad, I don't wanna ever see your face again. No way.
It's almost like they didn't let him hear the song. They're like, just rap and we'll just mash it into it.
Well, I'm under the impression that Australians speak English, and I didn't understand a word that he was saying.
I don't know what that was. Could have been Aboriginal. I don't know what it was.
Am I crazy? I thought auto-tune was supposed to help bad singers, right?
Oh, no, wait. Actually, in the southern hemisphere, auto-tune works backwards. It makes things bad and turns them into unlistenable. So
makes them more bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Badder.
More bad.
More badder.
More badder.
As we're all well aware, ABC's Lost is winding down. And soon it will most likely leave its fans with a series of frustrating unanswered questions, really.
But until that day arrives, we can all look fondly back on the past 6 seasons of mysterious scientists, buttons that needed to be pressed, and of course Sawyer's exquisite command of the English language.
Oh, son of a bitch! Ow! Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! 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 Son of a bitch! Easy! Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
Wait a minute. You know who else loves that line?
You son of a bitch.
All roads lead back to Arnold. We don't usually get political, but we are here today.
We demand that laws are passed to force Schwarzenegger back into acting.
We demand those laws. Screw healthcare. We need Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
All right, totally unrelated. Up next, we're having a turtle fight.
Yeah, turtle fight. It's slow-moving reptile MMA in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Or at least come right back.
And strippers! He's throwing money at her. I'm just finishing twittering, there's a stripper. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you need to say.
There's a stripper!
The end. Hey, today's number 1 item is that rarest of web things, a video of animals that does not end in hilarious humping.
Yeah. This backyard brawl starts out with a dog and a tortoise, and then it gets interesting. So, was that a good fight or not? I couldn't tell.
You know, I'm not really sure either, but I do know one thing. Turtle fight!
Turtle fight.
We're giving these two terrapin terrors 30 seconds to test each other's mettle in the cage.
All right, ready on the clock. We got 3 seconds. Here we go. Turtle fight!
William Howard Taft versus Tim Gunn. Now, Taft is on the right. He likes to use a mixed strategy. I think maybe he might want to put Gunn on his back so he can pin him for the required 3 turtle seconds that it takes. Turtle seconds, of course, are a lot longer than people seconds. You can see Tim Gunn is struggling against the weight of his own body, apparently. I don't know if he had a heavy lunch, but it's certainly not helping him in the ring at all right now. Taft, a very confident position right now.
Yeah, looks like he's just holding his ground.
I think they might be making out. I'm not 100% sure. That was non-stop action.
We're going to have to go to the judges. Wait, Splinter.
Master Splinter?
What?
Can you give us any words of wisdom before you leave?
Always wash your hands after picking up a turtle. This will help prevent against salmonella infections.
Thank you for that advice, rat in a bathrobe. Master Splinter.
I love him. He defeats Shredder.
He does defeat Shredder through a series of weirdly mind-controlled turtles.
Where would we be without them?
I don't know.
All right, to get your daily viral fix and to check out all the viral videos we have to offer, go to g4tv.com/aroundthenet.
This show has everything!
Oh my
Stripping, food, turtles, and now Blair Butler, who has breaking news about the debut of a brand new character in the Marvel Universe.
Time for Fresh Ink.
Today on Fresh Ink, we have comics filled with hitmen, Vikings, and sci-fi. And just in time for the big screen sequel, we have exclusive Iron Man news from Marvel Comics. Here's your first look at Invincible Iron Man issue 25 and the debut of a new character called Detroit Steel. With Tony Stark keeping a low profile in the Marvel Universe, Hammer Industries, now led by Justine Hammer, will unveil its own corporate Iron Man for hire. Writer Matt Fraction describes Detroit Steel as, quote, what happens when Iron Man gets privatized. Imagine if Blackwater leased Iron Man knockoffs to corporations and festooned the thing with logos and stars and stripes. 2 tons of burning chrome and righteous American justice, all made in the US of A. End quote. And rather than be saddled with pesky morality, he's available to the highest bidder. Invincible Iron Man 25 hits store shelves April 28th. Of course, Hammer Industries plays a major role in the Iron Man 2 movie coming this May, but in the meantime, how about some freaking Vikings? Northlanders Blood in the Snow collects a series of standalone Viking tales, and everyone's a winner. From a deceptively simple story about 2 warriors locked in mortal combat to the tale of 3 women holding back a vast Saxon army with bows and arrows, each of these Viking vignettes is graced with great art, epic violence, and the riveting storytelling of writer Brian Wood. If you love good old-fashioned Viking warfare, this one's a must-buy. And if you're looking for something with international appeal, might I recommend the French comic The Killer, Volume 2. The first volume of The Killer introduced us to a methodical hitman who prides himself on the way he dispassionately stalks his prey. But in this second book, the murders get intensely personal when someone close to our anti-hero is forced to pay for his crimes, featuring gorgeous artwork, shocking bursts of violence, and an unconventional look at the business of death. The Killer is the best import from France since Le French Fry. And last but not least, time travel gets a new twist in Days Missing. In Days Missing, a mysterious figure named the Steward leaps back in time to prevent impending doom. But as he relives pivotal days in history and tries to prevent the destruction of the human race, the Steward is often forced to make devastating choices to ensure that human history follows the right path. So if you like having your mind bent and your heartstrings tugged, give Days Missing a chance. So there you go, breaking Marvel news and 3 comics to keep you busy until next week, when we'll be bringing you even more exclusives from WonderCon, San Francisco's biggest comic book convention.
Go Go see Blair Butler up at WonderCon. Still ahead, Rob Corddry's here with a special invitation.
All my hot tubbing, stick around. I love this man. He's fantastic.
And he's here.
And he's here.
Here's a question for you. Would you sacrifice your legs if you got a pet dragon in return? You logged on to G4TV.com and told us what you thought. We'll have the results right after the break. The results are in, and about 63% of you said you would not sacrifice your legs for your own dragon. Oh, come on. Who needs legs when you can fly on the back of a mystical fire-breathing reptile? Log on to G4TV.com for more questions like this and tell us just how far you go.
Well, the robots are still gone, but the dancing doesn't stop, and we're even paying with Seacrest bucks.
Seacrest bucks! Look
Can you
at
see that? Seacrest dollars.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't buy a pet dragon with those. You guys should have given your legs away.
Yeah, that's right.
Shame on you. All right, but more importantly, how old are those hot wings that are over there?
How what now?
There's wings at the buffet.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, there's food. Awesome. Nobody knows what we're talking about. Let's ruin the mood by adding a dude.
There's Blair here! Somewhere. Blair, we need you to do the feed. Feed, Blair. You can't touch them.
Start it. Not my pants, they're wardrobes. It is Wednesday, March 31st, and here are your top stories. Last night, Facebook experienced an epic privacy fail, my friends, when the social networking site revealed many personal email addresses on profiles to the public. The glitch persisted for around 30 minutes until Facebook engineers fixed the problem, as one user who has a private profile because of a stalker told Valleywag, quote, "I cannot beeping believe this." He didn't say beeping. Facebook has yet to comment on the breach, but you can add this to the long list of privacy concerns users have about the site. Like, for instance, why come I can't see a chick's photos when she doesn't accept my friend request? What does that mean exactly? I hate that. After the massive success of The Hangover, it seemed like a no-brainer that Warner Brothers would make a sequel, and after long negotiations, looks like The Hangover Dose is now a done deal. Yes! The leads of the first film, Zach Galifianakis, Bradley Cooper, and Ed Helms will each get $5 million apiece for the second movie, which is a huge step up considering they all made less than $1 million combined in the first movie. Wow, congratulations, gentlemen. Congratulations. The prompter went out just now, so I'm going to get some more food. Wait, it's back?
Wait, this isn't
Should I get food? Oh, Will Wright is making a television show, my friends, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to have viewer interaction. There's going to be some plot lines. Just bring me some food. Let's just eat. Come here, everybody with me. Hey, Blair. Here we go.
That's a lot of mac and cheese that you can try to eat.
I'll be right
there.
here. You son of a bitch. Let's go to the thread segment of the show that might roll at any time. Suggestions? That's everything's failing. Finally, a lawman in Florida has used Google to make an arrest for illegal dumping. Can you believe this? Oh my God! This is Deputy Gregory Barnes arrested a Florida man for scraping identification details of his one-ton boat and then ditching it miles from its home. This is ridiculous. The officer was actually able to catch the offender using Google Earth to identify the same boat parked in the man's front yard in an ARGAP satellite image. He said illegal dumping. Think about that. This is the best news I've ever heard.
This really is.
Chris, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
These wings are really good.
What do you get when Philly's oldest sporting goods company collaborates with one of LA's premier hat shops? No, but more on that later. What you actually get is the first ever collection of fitted sports caps known as Upside Downs. It all started with Los Angeles-based Hall of Fame, who established the flip logo design early on, but never with professional sports brands. So, enter Philadelphia-based Mitchell & Ness, who have the vintage licensing rights to the majority of pro sport teams. Combine these two companies and out pops a one-of-a-kind cap. LA Kings? Check. New York Giants? Check. Orlando Magic? Check, please! For a cool 45 Wonjamins, you can wrap your helmet in A-grade wool with these select iconic sports franchises sold exclusively at Hall of Fame. In case you didn't get your mitts on a pair of the latest Nike Futura signature Nike Air Force One High Supremes, then fear not! Nike and Futura are back at it again! This time releasing the Nike Bronx Bombers collab t-shirt. If you're unaware of Futura, he's a legendary graffiti artist who staked his fame in the 70s tagging New York subways. If you're unaware of Nike, then, well, good times. Upon closer look of this chest canvas, you'll notice two things. The subject matter, Futura's recurring signature point man. And the uniform? 2009 World Series champs, the New York Yankees, a.k.a. the Bronx Bombers. Head over to Nike's online store and get yourself one for $38. Rounding out our last collaboration is a triple header with Tokidoki, Marvel Comics, and Sanrio teaming up with New Era Caps to unveil their latest creation. Tokidoki took the artistic lead, imparting their Japanese style influences, turning Iron Man, Captain America, and Wolverine into more cartoonish, cuddly-like characters. Each cap has a main illustration on the front, but flip it over, and behold! More characters arranged in a story-like setting, leaving you hours of guessing, what the hell is going on here? And, if you happen to be a closet Hello Kitty junkie, they even have hats for you. Log on to Tokidoki's online store and pick up one of these collectibles for about $35. So remember, when it comes to fashion collaborations, just think of it in terms of girls. 2 is better than 1. And, if you're lucky, 3 is even better. You heard it here first, only in Threads. Hats with upside-down logos can only be found at outlet stores in the Oops bin, usually.
And can we admire my sweet Giants hat right here?
It's pretty awesome that it's upside down.
Upside down.
By the way, AOTS viewers get 15% off on these for the next 2 weeks. Enter the discount code AOTS at HallOfFameLTD.com.
Hey, Eli Manning, this is for you.
That's awesome.
Hey,
who are you talking to?
Eli Manning he's in the camera.
What?
Isn't he? He watches the show, right?
I don't know who watches the show.
Everyone watches the show, right? Chris, so I've actually heard that, this is awkward, but that you've been cheating on me.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my God, how did that get out?
I heard it's with your other show.
Oh, right, Web Soup, right, my program, Web Soup. You weren't talking about the melon.
Next on an all-new Web Soup.
Hey, Chris Hardwick.
Say hello to my little friend.
A brand new episode of Web Soup is coming up right after Attack of the Show. Please watch it. I really would like to keep working. Hey, but now it's time for games. Please welcome back X Plays Abby Happy! I know someone who just got back from PAX, and for those people who don't know, although they're all good nerds who watch the show, but why don't you give us a breakdown of what PAX is for the uninitiated?
All right, so PAX is a video game show open to the public, started in Seattle. This is now PAX East in Boston. So basically it's a huge convention, tons of games on the floor, and it's a lot of fun. We did a panel, it was awesome.
I want to go to PAX. I want to do PAX one day. My friend Will Wheaton did the keynote for PAX. I was very excited about it. I didn't get to go. But what are some of the what's like the first indie game that you saw there that you want to show us?
Comic Jumper. It comes from Twisted Pixel Studios. They're great guys. They did The Mall. They did Splosion Man earlier this year. This is their most ambitious project. They've been working on it for like a year. And the coolest thing about it is it comes from Josh Baer, co-founder of the studio. These are some drawings and stuff that he did in 7th grade. And it's just evolved over the years, and they're finally making a game out of it.
Okay. So the developers at Twisted Pixel, they really wanted to focus on level design. So, what did you see when you were playing the demo?
You're going to see everything from sort of Gunstar Heroes-ish play to stuff that's more quick-time elements. It's like 5 different levels of gameplay, and you're jumping in and out of all different comic books. So it kind of ensconces this huge variety. And if you're a big comic book nerd, you'll love it.
All right. So this is kind of fun, upbeat. What did you see more on the darker side? Like blood
and gore? You want blood and gore?
I want something. I
can give you blood and gore.
I want something a little more mature, as my grandmother used to say.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
So we also saw Shank, which is, well, you have some options of chainsawing people to death.
But you get to shanking people. You get to shank jerks, right? As long as you shank jerks in a game called Shank, that's all I care about.
And it's bloody and gory, and we saw this level where it's a meat factory, and you're dropping people into lots of good. See, It's gory.
Oh, that's got a pretty sweet,
And it's
like,
really
Samurai
fun.
Jack feel
the
to it.
combos are awesome. It's a delight.
That's a gorgeous game. How
gorgeous.
violent?
I see what you did there.
How flat? Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh, it was good though.
I'm accidentally pun-ridden. So, how violent does it get?
Pretty bad. I mean, you just saw they're chainsawing into shooting people with a gun while you're throwing another gun.
Whatever.
Come on.
Whatevs.
Pretty gory.
Well, what do you got for first-person shooters?
All right, so Breach is a multiplayer game that's coming out this summer, and it's the guys who are working on 6 Days of Fallujah. They are spec ops, they are Marines, they make simulations for the military. This is nuts.
I was kind of hoping it'd be about babies being delivered backwards.
Not at all. But it does make you think very tactically because they've really taken a lot of the things that they know in the real world and kind of transposed them onto this game. So you're seeing them say, no, don't go through the doorway. Only idiots go through the doorway. And, go around, put some C4 on it, blow it out. It's a very, very tactical shooter, and I am extremely excited for it.
It looks amazing. So what can you tell us about, like, the destructible environment? Is it completely
destructible? The physics in the game are nuts. He can knock out like one brick in that wall and shoot somebody through it. It's really about like taking down sniper fire. And if you are a sniper, you have to move very, very quickly because something will show the other team where you are. So it's kind of like, reality. And some guy who sits there and snipes me for, 3 billion times
was
in a row.
Was this a game that you said some kid tried to steal the source code?
Yes, some kid tried to steal the source code on it at the show and then signed on later onto Modern Warfare and failed to show up at his court date. And why would you try to steal a game from dudes who could obviously kill you?
I don't know. I didn't do it, but I want to tell you something, Abby Happy. I like you a lot, and I am damn glad that you came on the show today. Thank you for going to bed.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you. Stay tuned, guys. Rob Corddry from Hot Tub Time Machine is going to be here live in studio, and I want to talk to him. If you were going to travel through time, get in a time machine, or just get drunk with someone, do it with Rob Corddry. Rob Corddry's here, everybody. Rob Corddry's here in
Love Rob Corddry.
our awkward swallowing chairs of awkwardness.
So, Chris.
Rob, now, I have a hard time believing that
Talk to me.
I like things. Do you like stuff?
Love things.
Yay.
All sorts of things.
Just dudes hanging out in big, wide chairs.
Thank God I wore my orange socks.
You can wear those. No one will ever see those on.
They stand up on the show.
It makes your ankles pop, which is really nice. So, Rob, because I'm a hard-hitting journalist, I have a hard time believing you could travel through time in a hot tub. Could you please explain the physics of this device?
Right, that's the trouble you have with this movie. That's where you suspend logic.
That's where you suspend your disbelief.
Like, time travel? Well, of course.
I don't know. But in a hot tub?
A hot tub? Get out of here. Well, it allowed the opportunity for me to get my shirt off, ladies.
Nice. At least some of that sweet chest meat you got going on there.
There it is.
There we go.
There's the pelt.
Why are you wearing a sweater?
I was on a gay website that is devoted.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. We just lost half your viewers. A website devoted to kind of average to bad-looking men. Like, there's apparently a fetish for that. Like, hairy, bald.
You're a bear.
I'm not quite. I think it's.
I hear that's what it's called.
I don't. I mean,
I'm a cub. I would nuzzle in. I'm a cub. Oh. Feed me pulpy bear breast milk. Now
you're losing your job.
When the now you grew up in the 80s. I mean, the 80s pop culture, I'm sure, was a large part of your life.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you watched the Savage Steve Holland's, the Better Off Dead, and One Crazy Summer, the Cusack movies. So.
Yeah.
What was it? What kind of head trip was it going into that kind of a movie?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, and also just working with John Cusack too. Like, you'd come to work every day, and John Cusack would be there, and you'd speak to him, and he'd speak back to you, and then once you got used to that, Chevy Chase would show up.
That's crazy.
It would just keep getting awkward.
Now, you have to call them by their full names, too. You have to be hey, John Cusack.
Yes.
Like, you can't just say, hey, John.
Great take, Chevy Chase. Crispin Glover has to go to the bathroom.
I'm going to the bathroom right now.
It's gonna be intense.
How many time travel movies does that guy got to do anyway? What the crap, Crispin Glover? I'm on to you, Crispin Glover.
He got your number.
He should turn up in Lost. I would love to see Crispin Glover in Lost.
Hasn't he? He probably has. I just blinked.
I'm Dharma.
Yeah.
So when you first saw the film, were you prepared to see as much sweet Rob Corddry naked ass action as you ended up seeing?
Are you asking me or asking them?
Well, you answer for them.
I thought it was a good idea at the time. Basically, and then I saw my ass projected onto the huge screen, and it's a mess.
So you did your own ass work in the film. They didn't bring in a stunt ass.
Yeah, that was all me, man. Yeah. And for some reason, there's a couple of scenes where I'm tensing it, I'm clenching it for some reason, and it's got.
Is it because
it's got this like bend in? It looked like an old man.
No, but you should have those. That's the glute muscles. You want to have those, right?
Refer back to the tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't look like you left your ass out in a hailstorm.
Clark Duke actually, yeah. Clark Duke halfway through one of those takes was like, "Man, your ass is a mess. It's horrible."
I know. It's one of those. It's got to be one of those things. Like as a comic, when you do stuff and you're like, "Oh my god, I got to do this. This is going to be hilarious," and then it plays out and you're like, "Oh, why?"
There was a better way to do this.
Damn comic, Gene. Did you guys do a lot of? I assume there was a lot of, especially with Craig Robinson. There must have been a ton of improv on the set.
There were. Yes, it was a very collaborative environment. They were very cool with that. They did not respect the text.
But at least they were cool with that.
They were
part.
very cool.
So
yeah.
you improv'd all the ass stuff. That's good.
Yeah.
Now I know this about you because we are Twitter pals and we talk about tech sometimes. But you are an incredibly tech savvy guy. You live deep in the nerd hive.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm at your level, but I'm definitely I aspire to be Nerdist.
Oh wow.
I love it. I love sites like I'm a real productivity geek and efficiency geek. I like sites like Lifehacker.
Lifehacker has been one of my favorite sites.
It's my first site I go to in the morning at Gizmodo. I'm addicted to that stuff.
Yeah, those guys. I got to be pals with all those guys, and they are just as cool as you would hope they would be.
Yeah,
we'll get together and have a big nerd productivity fest. You and me and Gizmodo and Lifehacker. I just want to mention, because I had Rob Hubel on my podcast the other day, that Children's Hospital on Adult Swim is premiering this summer.
Yep.
And it is phenomenal, you guys. If you've not seen Children's Hospital, it is literally one of the funniest things you will ever see in your entire life. Is there anything else about Children's Hospital that we should be looking out for?
No, season 1 and 2 coming on Adult Swim in July.
That's fine. I know Rob Hubel recently made out with Marion Ross from Happy Days.
Mrs. C.
Who's 80 years old.
80-something.
80-something.
80 plus.
Yeah, and he said it was actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, he goes, she tasted like he was wondering whether she was going to taste like metal or butter. And he said closer to butter.
Oh, so on the metal butter litmus scale, she was closer to butter.
Closer to butter.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Rob Corddry. It's so good to see you. Thanks for being on the show. People, go see Hot Tub Time Machine. You will not be sorry. Let's go over to Allison Hayslip.
Hey, Rob Corddry, your ass is totally okay in my book.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to attack this musical stuff. There's a stripper behind me. Yeah. All right, with Comic-Con season just around the corner, it's time to break out your tentacle costume and hit the convention hall floor. But if you're looking to keep a lower profile, check out Marvel Co-Loud headphones. These one-size-fit-all phones sport some of your favorite Marvel characters, like Iron Man or Wolverine, and deliver audio to your eardrum with handmade 40mm drivers. Now you can drown the nerdy cacophony in style as you wade through the swarming masses. It's fantastic. Make your ears happy for $40 at BigBadToyStore.com. Now, we definitely live in a digital age. I know. They call me Captain Obvious. Thank you very much. But for those of you who long for the analog sound of vinyl, fear not, the Gacken Premium Gramophone Kit is here to the rescue. With this device, not only can you listen to your old 45s, you can record music on them. Turn the hand crank, yes, hand crank, yell into the gramophone, and the bamboo needle transfers your sweet-ass vocals to records. It's definitely a step backwards from MP3s, but with this, you could easily back up your iTunes library, right? Head to JapanTrendShop.com and order one for $140. There's probably a lot of other cool stuff at a site called JapanTrendShop.com, don't you think? I think so. And finally, bringing your music on the go can be a risky venture. I mean, you never know when you might drop your iPod in a pool or a toilet or a koi pond or something like that. Give your MP3 player a little armor and grab the Thodio A-Box at thodio.nl. This iPod dock has been constructed from an authentic 50 caliber ammo box using 1mm steel for the casing and topped off with woven Kevlar speakers. When the fit hits the shan, I guess, at least your music will be bulletproof, right? The prices start at $339. Head on over to g4tv.com/AOTS for info on all of these Arlie gifted gadgets and more. Still ahead, strippers and people get hurt on purpose. Break Moments is next. Work it.
Coming up on the next AOTS.
Brace for incoming hotness. Yvonne Strahovski from Chuck and Mass Effect 2 will be here live in studio. And Chris Gore faces off with a cast of Clash of the Titans to talk 3D, Greek gods, and releasing the Kraken.
See it on the next AOTS.
Hey, back here.
Oh, back
here.
Pain ahoy!
Prepare to dock with Break Moments.
Yarr.
Yarr. I'll never get tired of doing that.
I feel like I didn't commit to that one. I'll do it on the back
that
end.
was all me.
I'll get into it. You save that one.
All right.
When fixing a jammed rifle, most accomplished marksmen know not to point the barrel at themselves or any other creature.
Surprise, surprise. Same goes for paintball guns.
So much I have to make up.
Well, that's one way to color your helmet. What? I work on Web Soup. I write wiener bashing jokes all day long.
You know what I kind of liked about that one? I don't think that was on purpose. I feel like we see so many nut shots on this show that people do purposely, and I don't understand why. And that one, accidental.
100% unadulterated stupidity. So this week's rating system is light beer floats, because nothing says America like a Bud Light a la mode. How many do you want to give this guy, Allison Hayes?
I do like the accidentalness of it, but I'm going to go just 3 out of 5. 'Cause,
3 out of 5, all right.
You know, it was good, but it wasn't
He doesn't fall that far off the tree.
Right, yeah, maybe if he was way up a tree and
Seems
fell,
like he might be okay.
fell on top of his friend and gave his friend a nut shot.
Work on that,
an
guys,
accident.
and then get back to us, and then we'll rate you higher.
All right, it's a fact. Hurting yourself with a pogo stick is not that easy.
But throw a shovel into the equation, and voila, you've got pain.
It's pogo stick, the shovel, the nut shot.
Oh. That one was planned, but I gotta give him credit for having 2 camera angles.
No, the 2 camera angles is good, and I have to say, if you don't know, that's Zacharias Holmes. We awarded him the Golden Download Award for Web Soup last season. He sets... What? Is it because I'm talking seriously about... Like he's an athlete?
Did you ever think that your career would be analyzing nut shots?
I knew exactly that's what it would be. Yeah, I did, actually. I called it a long time ago.
That's fantastic.
You know, Zacharias sets up these Rube Goldberg-type situations to attack his own man luggage, and I think I've seen him do better than that, than just the shovel.
All right. Okay, so how many light beer floats are we going to give him?
I thought it was good, not perfect, but I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5. I think that's a respectable number for Zacharias Holmes.
I like it.
Question. Using a gun to shoot a tranq dart into your friend's chest, good idea or bad idea?
I'm going to go great idea.
It's like a pretty gnarly dart, actually, is what it is.
Pull it out, dude. Pull it out.
You missed. I like the intense whispering.
Yeah.
Pull it out, dude. Pull it out.
He obviously had some like military training because he did not even flinch.
Well, it happened so fast. I don't even think you can know.
Feel it?
That'd be awesome if doctors gave us shots that way. Like, bam, penicillin, done.
I'd like that so much better because I freak out with shots and needles and everything.
So how many do you want to give this guy?
I'm going to go 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. That's a perfect score.
For holding it together like he did. That was impressive.
Well, I think his body was going into shock, but if you call that holding it together, that's fine. Now, if only those dum-dums could go back in time and warn themselves about themselves.
No, wouldn't work. You can't change the future, even if it's a stupid one.
Oh. You son of a bitch! Yeah, that's better. That felt stronger.
I think we need to go back and count how many times "you son of a bitch" has been said in this show.
That made it 4.
What?
Right there. I said it twice to Blair. I said it once
all
there.
the time Sawyer said it.
Oh, yeah.
Hello? All right, we're going to do a video viewer mail. How about that?
Okay.
Has the rise of social networking sites been beneficial for society?
I had to really listen to that. I was like, huh?
He wants to know if social network sites have been beneficial to society.
I'm gonna go yes and no because I think that they've done a fantastic job of really connecting people. Like, yay, I'm in touch with everyone I went to high school with.
And that's awesome. Why?
I don't know. Sometimes it is, but like I feel like it has destroyed relationships. I feel so many people have broken up because of Facebook statuses. You know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love social networking. I'm involved in a lot of social networking. I think Twitter is a very distilled version of how the internet should work. It should be mostly useful chunks of information in bite-sized chunks.
Okay, I'm bored of you. I'm going to the stripper pole.
Oh.
Well, I had to get up there at some point, right?
I was, making a point about...
I don't even know if I can do this.
Well, I'd like to thank Abby Happy and Ralph Corddry for being here. No, you gotta hang on. Yeah, I'm going to stuff this in your...
Can I climb this thing?
Wait
a minute.
Do you want to do the upside down thing? Or do you... Oh, Allison, that's not bad. An all-new episode of Web Soup starts right now. Web Soup, watch it, please! Please, watch my show. For the love of God.